Greetings, YouTuber. You have entered the world of electrified midweg gaming and streaming. And here is your host, all the way from the internet, Sly88Fry.
Sup, YouTube? It's your boy, Sly88Fry. What's up, YouTube? This is Sly88Fry here. This is going to be my first video of the year. Well, I actually had other plans for my first video. In fact, an old video from my former channel, former secondary channel, Broadsword Media, which is my first ever video game review, which was of the original Sonic the Hedgehog from 1991. To celebrate the 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, I'm going to re-upload that here to YouTube on my current and only channel, Sly88Fry. I'm also considering uploading a video talking about the recent news about the Capitol building. I'm not going to get into any more details until I upload that recording, which I'll have some background footage too. Anyways, let's get started on this video. It's one I just couldn't pass up. I've already watched the video, but I just want to show it because it's just freaking nuts. It's really interesting. It's from a channel called The Gaming Historian. He's been around for quite some time, as a matter of fact, and probably about maybe as long as me. I'm not 100% sure. I know he hasn't been around as long as James Rolfe, who does the Angry Video Game Nerd, or Nigahiga, who was at one point the most subscribed YouTuber in the world, and now he's still in the top 20. But let's continue. Let's watch The Gaming Historian. He's awesome. I love the facts he brings up. I love the history he knows. I also like his sense of humor when he actually brings it out. It's a short one. Let's do it.
Since the beginning of the video game industry, some parents have worried that their kids spend too much time playing video games.
Reasonable.
Those concerns really took off in the late 80s, when the Nintendo Entertainment System exploded in popularity. By 1989, 20% of American households owned an NES. Nintendo controlled about 80% of the market, with $1.7 billion in revenue. Kids couldn't get enough, and that scared some parents. They worried about their children's social skill development, and that the video games were eating up time that could have been spent on homework, or playing outside, or socializing with friends face-to-face. Nintendo didn't offer up many solutions. Instead, they drafted a bland statement that encouraged moderation. But one eclectic inventor thought he had a better idea, and made what is perhaps the video game industry's first parental control device. It was called Homework First, and it was a literal lock for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Isn't that nuts?
Marketed as a time management tool, Homework First prevented users from inserting cartridges into the console. It's basically a chastity belt for your NES.
Yeah.
The mastermind behind the lock was Thomas Lowe. He formed his company, Safe Care Products, in his Chicago basement back in 1987. Inventing consumer goods ran in the Lowe family. Thomas's father, Edward Lowe, invented kitty litter.
That's amazing.
Safe Care Products made all sorts of items. Child-proof appliance plug locks, inflatable bath cushions, storage solutions for your video games. Their most popular product was What-A-Catch, a Velcro football and glove set. Lowe was always on the lookout for new ideas, and inspiration struck one night while Lowe talked with a friend. The friend complained that his 14-year-old son had been up past midnight playing Nintendo. The friend wished there was some way to lock up the NES. Well, that was all Lowe needed to hear.
Yeah?
He got to work and came up with a few ideas, but ultimately settled on what one reporter later described as a souped-up bike lock. It's an accurate description. Lowe nauseatingly named his device Homework First. The lock features a master lock mechanism along with a U-bolt. The top of the lock features what looks like a red button, but it's just a piece of plastic for aesthetic purposes. On the back of the packaging, Safe Care Products made their pitch. As evidenced by the many nationally published articles, video games are causing much concern for parents and educators. Now you can do something about it. Before you attach the lock, make sure there are no cartridges in the system.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it defeats the purpose.
It does.
To connect Homework first, you have to set the dials to your combination. Now you can detach the U-bolt from the lock. The bolt hooks into a screw hole on the bottom of the NES. Then you put the lock back on, spin the combination dials, and done. The NES is now locked. In an attempt to appeal to gamers, Lowe noted that the lock could keep anyone in a family from erasing a saved game during a break in the action.
I guess.
Now when your little brother or sister tries to play Star Tropics, they won't be able to overwrite your save file. In fact, they won't be able to play the game at all.
Yeah.
I have had family members erase my game saves accidentally, but it seems like an extreme solution to the problem. Actually, this whole idea seems like a radical solution.
Actually, MVP baseball.
When I was a kid, my parents just took the system away when we got in trouble. My friends' parents would hide the power supply. I can't even imagine my mom slapping a literal lock on my video game console.
I know.
Guns? Sure.
Of course.
Liquor?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But my NES? Homework First made its public debut at the 1989 Summer Consumer Electronics Show in Chicago, Illinois.
All right.
News of the lock went international. British video game magazine Ace called it a party-pooping add-on that most Nintendo maniacs wouldn't want to see in a mile of their machines.
Yeah.
French magazine Joystick Hebdo proclaimed it a demonic lock. But parent advocates were thrilled, claiming, at last, there's a product that puts the Nintendo control stick where it belongs, in a parent's hands. Lowe argued that the lock was a time management tool. It gives parents a simple and effective way to manage video game playing without threats or more severe forms of punishment. But some parents and psychologists thought the lock wasn't the best way to deal with video game addiction.
All right.
Dr. Carl Johnson, a child development psychologist, suggested parents should compromise on playtime rather than laying down the law.
Yeah, they should.
One parent took it to an extreme, writing, "What, on the other hand, does the Homework First lock teach? That you can do pretty much whatever you want as long as there isn't something, a lock, a wall, a moat, an electronic surveillance system, stopping you." By the end of 1989, Homework First was available nationally in stores such as KB Toys, Walmart, Toys R Us, and even mail-order magazines like Sharper Image. It retailed for around $20. But did Homework First become a massive hit for Safe Care products? Not really. By July of 1990, less than a year after its release, Lowe claimed he sold about 30,000 units. According to the patent documents, Lowe had other ideas, including a dust cover for the cartridge slot and a turnkey lock. But these devices never came to fruition. Surprisingly, Lowe wasn't the only one to come up with a lock for video game consoles. In 1991, a small startup called Niche Technology announced the Timeout lock, which blocked the cartridge slot on both Nintendo and Sega consoles. However, I haven't been able to find any evidence this product was ever released. By 1995, Thomas Lowe had dissolved Safe Care products and moved on to new ventures. Today, he runs Round 2 Corp., a company that reproduces old die-cast model toy cars. Parental controls are a standard feature on modern consoles.
They are,
yeah. Developers incorporate them into the system software. But it's interesting to see what lengths parents went to back in the day to curb their kids' video game playtime.
Yeah.
Homework First was a solution to a problem that already had better solutions. Honestly, I think its best use is to lock a game into the console, forever cursing someone to play one game on their NES for the rest of their lives. That's all for this episode of The Gaming Historian. Thanks for watching.
Funding for Gaming Historian is provided in part by supporters on Patreon. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure most of you watching have probably seen The Gaming Historian before. He's much bigger than I, for sure. I don't remember what his subscriber count is. I think it's like 800,000 or something. I'm getting closer to 1.5 thousand. But, not much. But anyways, Yeah, I couldn't help but show that. That was just some crazy thing I had, I had never heard of, but it's interesting, I mean, it's technology. It's something that you don't necessarily really need, but it's interesting, it was not a bad concept, but it's just not needed. I mean, like the gaming historian said, there's other measures you can take to make sure your kids play your video games less. So yeah, I got this for Christmas when I was visiting family in Idaho. It's a mask full of DC Comics characters. Hell yeah, look at that. Batman, Superman, Catwoman, Wonder Woman, a lot of fucking... well, I guess that's all it has on there, but still, it mentions the Flash, it's just awesome. As for this, I don't know if you saw this earlier. On New Year's Day, when I was out working, I was trying to grab something in my middle compartment, and I cut my finger in there. I actually had a shaving razor in there that did not have the cap on. That was a bad idea. I'll never take them with me again. I only do that because it's so crowded at home. I don't get to use the bathroom as much as I'd like to, so I sometimes try to find another place to... Never mind, I'm not going to get into that. That's just weird. Most people think that's weird, obviously. But I am weird, and I don't care that I'm weird. My wife thinks I'm weird, and she's okay with it. She thinks I'm confusing, too. She's confusing as well. It works out. Anyways, Happy New Year's, everybody. Happy 2021. Just because 2020 was what people might consider a dumpster fire with the pandemic, Kobe Bryant died, murder hornets, and George Floyd, and the one after it, I forget what the woman's name was, but all that horrible shit happening. It doesn't necessarily mean that 2021 is going to be completely smooth sailing. If you're paying attention to the news right now, earlier today, and probably still going on, I was told by my friend, I actually recorded our phone call. He said it was okay. I might actually upload the recording talking about what happened at the U.S. Capitol building. Oh my God. And anyways, let's not get into that at the moment. This is about that crazy lock for the NES. It's like cool and stupid at the same time. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like cool and kind of dumb. Well, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I think I said this earlier. To celebrate Sonic the Hedgehog's 30th anniversary this week, I do plan to re-upload my first ever video game review, which was something I uploaded to my former secondary channel, Broadstar Media, back in 2015. I'm going to upload it here to Sly88 Fry and make a few changes to it that I think might be necessary, which will make it a little bit different than the original video. But yeah, it's just like a different sound effects and stuff. But anyways, check it out when it comes out later this week. I'm probably going to premiere it because it's a long video. It's like 23 minutes long. So please stay tuned for when that comes out. Spread the word. It is Sonic's 30th anniversary. I might as well re-upload my review of the first game. I actually had plans to review the original Donkey Kong Country, as I played that with my wife back in like 2016, I think it was, and recorded the footage. Nowadays, since I do live streaming, if we get into a living situation together that's better than what we're currently in, we might live stream that together, which would be fun. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Click that bell icon to add me notifications. If this react to a gaming historian video performs well, I might do some more, but I'm going to say most likely this is going to be the only one. Anyways, thank you so much.